yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think men control hookup culture.
Men control. I mean,
I don't think so, because I think the desire to sleep with multiple women has been around since men have been on this planet. But it wasn't really possible until there was a loosening of, let's say, social mores about that. And even if that desire has been constant for thousands of years, why haven't there been hookup culture for thousands of years? Like, what's changed in recent times?
Well, like she put it out, the sexual revolution.
feminism. You can say it fine.
Oh, God.
Feminism.
First thing I noticed was an Asian girl in the background. I don't know what the hell she's doing.
She's. I don't know if she's at every episode.
Translating.
She's visual interest. That's all. Real quick. So if you want to blame, so obviously hookup culture requires two people. If you want to blame people, you can. But I will tell you that it is not men who are to blame for hookup culture. It is like top 5% most attractive men who are to blame for hookup culture, and all women that participate in hookup culture.
Hookup culture.
Okay, so
what
that's interesting.
What is the oldest profession?
Well,
Wait, Rolla, what do you
What
mean?
is the world's oldest profession?
It's probably carpentry. But go ahead. What did you?
You're probably right.
Mary Magdalene.
Come to think of it, you are correct.
Mary
sir.
Magdalene.
Exactly. Probably hunting. I'm going to guess it's the older profession. Go ahead.
They didn't make money.
You don't believe in a hookup culture?
No. Well, I think. Okay, so whenever you put the word culture on the end of another word, like you say culture, you put it bro culture, marriage culture, whatever, hookup culture. If you put culture at the end of anything as the sort of the suffix of the term, you make it endemic, meaning that like everybody's doing this, everyone is nailing each other, and there's this hookup culture where we just go on our phones, we just find some random and we have sex, right? Incorrect. Statistically, provably, empirically incorrect. The only guys who are involved in hookup culture are the guys we were just talking about a minute ago, the 9s and the 10s, who can participate in that. They constitute maybe about 4.5% of guys.
But not all 9s and 10s are like that.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
but
the ones that are. That's a great point. But the ones that are.
And so when women want to talk about hookup culture, they want to talk about like how easy it is for guys to have sex. Yeah, the guys you want to fuck. The guys who do fuck, yes. The 80% guys, even the 20% guys, have a really tough time of it. If you're in the 80%, you're just basically invisible. What are you talking about? The guy at CVS stuck in the shelves.
If what Farah had said was those top 5% of guys that I really find attractive, they are responsible for hookup culture.
Justin Waller.
I would say they're responsible for 50% of hookup culture, and women are responsible for the other 50% of hookup culture.
You got the men, right?
It takes
that
two.
aren't that good looking, but they hide behind their money, or they lie about
They
it.
live with their wallet.
That could be it too, but to your point, if you look at it, it's like the average number of like sexual partners has been stayed the same, but there's a group of men at the top, like the top 5% of men who had previously, like 10 years ago, had like 35 sexual partners in the top 5%, and now it's up to 60. So like,
wow.
So what I'm saying is we're all saying the same, but there's a group of men at the top who's having more sex. What does that mean? It means that, and then you go look, there's a group of men at the bottom who are having no sex, and a group of men at the top who are having 60 sexual partners, but women are having the same amount of sex. What does that mean? It means that what's happened is because women have access to these higher status men, then they're getting it. So hookup culture is a small group of men and a larger group of women hooking up with each other. When she blames men, she can't blame men. She can blame a top group of men. This is another thing, pretty controversial statement. I believe there is a patriarchy, but if there is a patriarchy, do you know who the patriarchy benefits the least? Men. Low status men. The victims of a patriarchy are low status men are the ones working for minimum wage. They're the ones out there fucking fighting fires. They're the ones out there like
firefighters are hot. Take that back.
For sure. But what I'm saying is the people that are abused in a patriarchy, the people that are abused the most are low status men. It's actually not women. It would be that case. So anyway, going back to what we were saying before. Sorry, you were saying what was this thing? Oh, I lost my train of thought here. What were we talking about?
Hookup culture.
Yeah, the thing with hookup culture.
It's not a thing. It's really not. I think that's a culture amongst the people that are in it. Like, if you're not on a dating app, if you're not looking, if you're not seeking a man, there are women, I feel like, that don't seek partners. Like, I didn't look for my husband.
Yeah, but some women do.
So
the sociosexual group of men and women do look to have sex.
And then that's not the culture. That's just that little bubble or world that they're living in.
That's what I feel like too, because I've never been on dating. I feel like this and that. Like when I moved to Vegas, I didn't even want to date anyone, let alone like be with anyone.
I think-
and I got kind of so like I feel like when you're not looking, you.
I understand how you feel anecdotally,
Right.
but
Yeah.
like consider Cardi B bragging about drugging men and then fucking like stealing their money, and how none of that is chastised. But in the 1950s, all of this would be. The point is, there's a much less stigmatized for women having a high body count, sleeping with multiple
It's
men.
the norm.
Yes. So in that, now women are more available to have sex with more men, but it is a small group of men that they're having sex with. And so in their ergo hookup culture, that's where it comes from. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's who she's complaining about. That's who Farah is complaining about. She's complaining about the men that she noticed. Often, the bottom, there's a really funny video. I got to find it where this guy's asking this girl, it's like, you know, let's look at different guys that you would find attractive. What about that guy over there? And she goes, where? What guy? He goes, the dude standing right there. She goes, behind the mailman? She's like, no, the fucking mailman. And she didn't see him. So often we'll go through the
That's
drive-through.
not nice.
We'll go through the drive-through.
That's so rude.
Try this with your female friends. Go through the drive-through at some place, and then afterwards ask them to remember, what did the guy who gave you your food look like? And they won't remember. Because women
shallow.
women have
Has
no
no
reticular
soul.
activation system for men that they don't find attractive. And so because they only notice the men they do find attractive, then all men are players. No, they're not. Most men can't cheat.